Ready for it? Yeah, this is it. Go!
Aston Villa's victory over Manchester City was truly surprising. However, if judged by their current form, this is perfectly understandable. In their season openers against Newcastle and Liverpool, Unai's squad suffered humiliating defeats away from home, but soon afterward Villa showed that once warmed up and in form, they fear no opponent. First there was the win over Chelsea right at Stamford Bridge, the hammering of West Ham with 4-1 at Villa Park, the comeback against Tottenham with a score of 2-1 and most recently the shocking victory over Manchester City that rocked the entire Premier League. Interspersed with those matches were convincing, impressive wins, most notably the sinking of then league leaders Brighton with 6-1. So how has Aston Villa played during this recent streak? Many will be haunted by Unai's rather unattractive playing style from when he led Villarreal, as that team tended to mass a large, defensive block, somewhat antithetical to football itself. But was that all Unai Emery could do? Unai's Aston Villa is still fundamentally a team built on a tight playing method, but we see in them none of the passivity of that bygone Villarreal side. Aston Villa usually line up in a pure 4-4-2 formation, transitioning to 3 centre-backs depending on circumstances. A notable tactical point of Aston Villa is John McGinn, who appears to play the role of coke or salt for Unai Emery's Atletico Madrid. Despite being nominally lined up as a winger, McGinn tends to tuck inside to form a 4-man midfield square block to match up against stronger sides. Consequently, Aston Villa strikers Ollie Watkins and Diop end up playing out wide more often, to receive passes in the channels instead of an outright target man role. In essence, Aston Villa remains an attacking transition-based side, and a factor in their current efficacy is squad quality, notably one Ollie Watkins. On Aston Villa's road to their current standing, manager Unai Emery has relied heavily on pillars within the squad, entrusting Watkins alongside the likes of Douglas Luiz and Boubacar Kamara with prominent roles. To this day, Watkins has produced 8 goals and 6 assists in the 2022-2023 English Premier League campaign. Regarding Watkins' promising performances of late, English footballer Dean Saunders said, "The key difference helping Watkins thrive is the sheer difference between Unai Emery and former manager Steven Gerrard's tactical approach." Under Gerrard, Villa played a brand of football where Ollie wasn't receiving passes until the 8th or 9th phase. It didn't suit him whatsoever, and he couldn't score. Now what Villa are doing is backing Ollie. When opposition have possession, he starts making runs into spaces, and then if John McGinn wins it back, Ollie already knows where to be. You can't match his pace once the ball gets played up top. If Watkins is the attacking centerpiece, Pau Torres is a vital cog at the back for Emery. Pau Torres' passing prowess is described by Emery as a rare weapon to possess. Now blessed with a plethora of ways to penetrate the opposition backline thanks to Torres' diverse and creative distribution, Aston Villa shapes up as a complete side ready to compete for European football next campaign. Sharing with TalkSport, John McGinn shed light on Unai Emery's subtle tactical tweaks being implemented at Villa. It's maybe that Spanish style of game. In Scotland, if you take 2 to 3 touches in midfield you get chastised, but if no one's pressing or harrying you, you can keep it longer and regain composure. Each day I'm taking little bits from him to add to my own game and taking my best qualities into matches. He gives players confidence to do things they wouldn't have thought possible beforehand. At the time of his Arsenal sacking, Unai endured incredible shock. He thought the London club's hierarchy had complete faith, as he brought the likes of Soccer and Martinelli into the first team, with everything running smoothly. Emery solely fixated on the football aspects, neglecting the vital external and internal affairs expected of a club as large as Arsenal. Following that lesson, opting for middling Aston Villa in the English Premier League was prudent in satiating his football obsession. Building a squad handpicked entirely by himself while off-field components are handled by other facets of the club. As such, current Aston Villa is a perfectly tailored match for Unai Emery. At present, few would recall Aston Villa's struggles under former manager Steven Gerrard, when they lingered 17th in the league table, facing the possibility of relegation to the lower division. Yet ever since Unai Emery took over, each performance ranges from impressive to outstanding. By the end of last campaign, Aston Villa finished 7th in the league, qualifying for continental football. Fans deeply trust in the Spanish manager's competence, anticipating further success this season, considering the miracles Unai fashioned last campaign. Before the ongoing 2023-2024 season commenced, Opta's supercomputer ran Premier League simulations for next season 10,000 times, predicting each club's final position. As expected, Manchester City dominated with a 90.2% chance of winning the league. More pertinent is Aston Villa's forecast. The probability of Unai steering them to a top 4 position stood at just 4.7%, far below teams like Newcastle and Brighton. Statistics projected Villa's highest possible finish to be 8th place, with a 12.2% chance. But as of now, everything has swiftly changed, especially following a succession of outstanding performances. Opta's calculations changed dramatically. Newly updated forecast place Unai Emery's squad finishing 4th with 26.7% probability, the highest projected outcome. Next is a 25.7% chance of 5th place, but either way, Aston Villa is said to be a leading contender for UEFA Champions League, or least Europa League, qualification. And they are primed to convert those computational projections into tangible results soon enough, possessing the capacity to actualize said ambitions. Last summer transfer window, Aston Villa made the biggest Premier League impression, relative to other lavish top 6 sides. The £93 million outlay pales in comparison numerically, but remains a promising figure for Villa faithful. Crucially, those funds were not squandered haphazardly. Over 50% went toward retaining midfield prodigy Boubacar Kamara, fending off Middle Eastern outfit Al Nassr in one of the only instances of a European club successfully competing financially with those oil-rich suitors. Next, to elevate the squad, Villa added Pau Torres, a centre-back of genuine European pedigree. Villa also rapidly persuaded talented midfielder Yuri Tielemans into joining, despite intense interest from Premier League rivals. Nicolo Zaniolo is another promising signing to bolster Villa's attack, an area they sorely lacked during the first half of last campaign. Moreover, Villa even loaned defender Clement Lenglet from Barcelona, evidencing the meticulous planning from Unai Emery and the club hierarchy in case Carlos picked up an injury. Are Villa content to simply emerge as merely a dark horse this season? Attention should turn to billionaire owners Nassef Soares and Wes Edens, who rescued the club from its previous Tunisian chief after Aston Villa faltered in its 2017 to 2018 promotion bid. Arriving to reinvigorate the Birmingham-based club, early investments are now bearing fruit. Many laud Villa's supposedly expensively assembled squad, but few recognized this project's lengthy gestation over several years, not an overnight boost. The 2019-2020 season marked Nassef Soares and Villa setting a £159 million transfer record, sparking considerable investment since, averaging £93 million annually, peaking this past summer. Without a single top 4 appearance across these 5 seasons, observers may finally comprehend Aston Villa need not be pitted as paupers, rather respected as prudent investors. Billionaire Soares refuses to wildly spew cash, strategically injecting funds based on Villa's measured potential under the right manager, unable to wholly trust previous mediocre appointments like Smith or Gerrard to responsibly operate in the transfer market. The moment elite European tactician Unai Emery arrived to back his ambition with competence, so Villa unveiled its financial muscle. Beyond boardroom matters, unofficial sources suggest Aston Villa enjoys uniquely lenient financial scrutiny from England's Football Association, courtesy of celebrity fans Princes William and son George. Speaking to the BBC, Heir Prince William confirmed lifelong Villa fandom. Meanwhile, Egyptian conglomerate NSWE owns a 55% stake in the club, represented by billionaire Soares and Ines atop NSWE's hierarchy. According to Forbes 2022 estimates, Soares boasts a net worth approaching £6.5 billion, and Edis around £1 billion personally. With money, power, famous supporters and on-pitch quality, what was once whimsical speculation of a Big Seven appears increasingly conceivable reality.